Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in Jew. Are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. How many more times? And welcome to Tuesday's edition of the DC Movie and TV Daily. What have I got for you today? If you're a DC movie fan, you're going to be very excited, as you don't already know, for Christ's sake. I don't want to treat you like idiots, but anyway, you probably already know that Peter Capaldi, former Doctor Who, former Malcolm Tucker, Peter Capaldi has been cast in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. But now we go on to rumour, because these are the headlines, right? We're going to talk about all of this. But the rumour is that Eminem, yes, the rap star, I love Eminem, by the way, could have been cast in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad as well. And there's another rumour that Pete Davidson, the American TV personality, has also been cast in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So it looks like today's show will be dominated by James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. But afterwards, I also want to talk about the Joker movie fallout, because apparently Joker movie is going to craft its very own serial killers, and apparently it should be banned. And we'll talk about how that's just kind of a stick to bash the film with from kind of SJWs and MCU fans as well. We'll discuss that, and I'll educate you to a few things. And of course, I read you that wonderful article from Robert Pattinson yesterday. Wow, he had a lot to say, didn't he? And it was all very, very interesting stuff. And I read all of it out because it wasn't just about the Batman, because I think it's great to get a handle on the actor who's going to be playing the Batman. And I think you can see he's another Joaquin Phoenix, very interested in the art, very interested in working, and I really admire and like that. So yes, we should start off with the Batman, because if you remember when I read that interview out, I know my reading out is hideous, but you probably heard the bit when he retracted something he said about Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker. Now, people are getting 2 and 2 together and adding 5, but I'm hoping they're adding 4 and saying maybe there's a crossover between Matt Reeves' The Batman and Joaquin Phoenix's, Todd Phillips's Joker movie. Are they in the same universe? Now, I tried to put that together the other day, if you remember rightly, and I made an absolute twat of myself. I just don't see how it can work mathematically. But hey, if this is the case, I mean, who knows? Maybe he turns up. Maybe he turns up at the end of the Joker movie post-credit scene. There were no post-credit scenes, by the way, when I saw the test screening, which was just a reduced 90-minute movie, by the way. So there's a lot of things I haven't seen within that movie, but I saw enough to say it's fucking awesome. And of course, the plaudits for Joker movie just keep on coming and coming and coming. And this is kind of led to some accusations saying this is a very dangerous film for the wrong kind of person. This could inspire people to do the things that Joker does. It could give justifications and excuses for people suffering with mental health, or who have a really tough life, to take that out on society. As I've said, this is just a stick to bash the film with, because SJWs don't like the fact this film is about a man and people are liking it. I know it sounds pathetic, doesn't it? But it's all very political now, whether you're a movie consumer or whether you're a pundit. Some of the retweets that Scott Mendelssohn's pushing out there are so bitter towards Joker movie. It is absolutely unbelievable. Now, let me draw you a picture. Let's just imagine Joker movie was about a female Joker, Martha Wayne, because we know in Flashpoint Martha Wayne is the Joker, right? Isn't that how it works, if I remember rightly? Anyway, so let's just say they adapt that, right? And Martha Wayne, played by the actress from The Walking Dead, right, who played Martha Wayne for 30 seconds in BVS, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, played a female Joker. What would happen? What a great performance. Isn't she great? But because it's a man, and we're in these circumstances, in these troubled political times, we're going to bash the film for apparently trying to make excuses for a white man. No, that's not it's not what Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips are doing here. What they're doing is showing you that this can happen to absolutely anyone. because anyone can have a mental health break with reality. It happens all the time now, and there are people out there who become monsters, absolute monsters, because partly they are let down by society and their support structure. Because if you are suffering with mental health, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but you're kind of not responsible for your actions. Now that may sound very controversial, but it's true. If you can't control yourself, and I know that Arthur Fleck is trying to control himself desperately, but in the end, because he can't have his mess, he breaks. And it's as simple as that, and he allows that other side of him to come out. The Joker. And there's a bit of a spoiler here for you. Go away if you don't want to hear it. But the laugh you hear in the trailer is not the only laugh. There's quite a few laughs, and there's an awesome Joker. Like, oh my God. Yeah, how he pulled it off, I don't know, but absolutely fantastic. Basically, Joker movie is going to make a lot of money. A lot of people are going to love it, but you've just got to accept that certain people are going to come after this movie because this is massive. So what do I think about the rumours that obviously Robert Pattinson's Batman and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could be part of the same universe? I've already kind of touched on it a little bit. I would be over the moon because, as I've said before, a new DC universe is being built. So if you're building it with those two on opposite sides, how awesome would that be? You thought Nicholson and Keaton was awesome, right? You thought Bale and Ledger was awesome, right? This is going to be something extremely special if they're part of the same universe. So we will see. I will wait with bated breath if that's true, or if he said the spoiler. I mean, I don't think he's seen Joker movie, so there's something going on here, and I must say I'm very, very excited. Now, before I start talking about what's going on with the Suicide Squad, I want to talk about agenda-driven Snyder fans, and don't forget I'm a Snyder fan as well, but I don't have a negative agenda against Warner Bros. Because I don't think that's right. I was reading something trying to talk about how Warner Brothers haven't made much money this year and how Disney are the big winners. Look, we know Disney are the big winners. But you see, I'm a movie consumer. Budgets and box offices are none of my beeswax. They're not. My focus is I want to see good films. I talk about the content. Of course, I talk about box office sometimes. If I support a franchise, I want that film to make just enough money to carry on. And of course, if it beats Disney, that's an added bonus, and we can rile up the Disney and the MCU fans. It's fun. But apart from that, I don't care about box office. And this rhetoric by certain people that Warner Brothers have had a terrible year, content-wise, they haven't had a terrible year. They've made good films, and they're about to hit it big with Joker movie as well. Look, basically the future for Warner Media is New Line Cinema, is Walter Hamada, and I'm not just talking about DC content. It's pretty obvious that the most valuable asset that they own is New Line Cinema and the creatives over there. And they will be making more and more Warner Brothers content. It Chapter 2. Amazing film, right? If you've seen it, right? If you've had the honour to see it. Again, the New Line Cinema division. Those people are geniuses. Not only are they going to save Warner Brothers, right? They're going to save this industry. Right, talking about New Line Cinema and all the great things they're doing, let's talk about James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Yes, James Gunn has cast Peter Capaldi in a mystery role. Now, if you watch my Doctor Who videos, you'll know I did throw in there that Peter Capaldi was at a convention, and he was asked about shaving his head. He said it was for a new role, but he couldn't say what it was. Now, I was thinking at the time, what if it's a DC movie? What if it's Lex Luthor? Well, it is a DC movie because he's casting James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and hey, why can't it be a new version of Lex Luthor? It probably won't be, but hey, what do you think? Do you think Peter Capaldi could play a really awesome version of Lex? Of course I do, because Peter Capaldi was a great doctor, and he's a great actor, and he was awesome as Malcolm Tucker. He's such a good actor. I think this is brilliant by James Gunn. This is unconventional casting. Who would have thought Peter Capaldi in a DC movie, Peter Capaldi in the Suicide Squad movie? Wow, wow, wow. But what about these rumours about Pete Davidson? Not Peter Davison, by the way, who played the Doctor. Pete Davidson, right? I don't know. I think he's an interesting character. It would be interesting. It would be fun. But the one I'm interested in really is Eminem. Yes, there's rumours that Eminem, Marshall Mathers, has actually also been cast in the Suicide Squad. What do I make of these rumours? It wouldn't surprise me if he's exclusively writing the music and the songs with James Gunn for the Suicide Squad, and he's going to make an appearance as well. I think, if I'm right, I think that would be absolutely massive. So we'll look out for that. So James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is going, no pun intended, but he's going great guns. Now, I want to talk about something else that I didn't read out to you in Robert Pattinson's interview yesterday. I should have touched on it when I was actually talking about Robert Pattinson, but that's what happens when you're not scripted. It's a bit more adventurous, it's a bit more fun. So anyway, he talked about Matt Reeves' take on the Batman, and he said he's adapting something from the comics that has never been properly developed before. So what could he be meaning? Could this be inspired from Arkham Asylum? Could this film actually be set totally in Arkham? I think that's a way you can have all the villains in it without it being overcrowded. So I'm very, very interested in Robert Pattinson's description of what Matt Reeves' take is on the Batman. But as we get into it, and as you know, this is really exciting now because there's no going back now. Robert's done the interview. He's pumped. Lighthouse is about to come out, his latest indie movie. He's done Tenet with Christopher Nolan. So we're going to have a lot of Robert Pattinson. And he is an interesting character because of Twilight. He was a very popular young actor. The girls were wetting their knickers for him. Sorry to be crude, but it's true. And now he's a mature actor. He decided to do indie movies. Again, I think it's a great choice when you think that Christian Bale comes from the independent circuit and Joaquin Phoenix does as well. So we are going a very different direction to the MCU and a very different direction to what DC films have done before. So it's going to be very, very exciting and intriguing where we go from here. But it seems every day we're hearing something awesome about a DC movie. So I want you to comment down below. I want you to like, share and subscribe. Tell everyone about me. We don't need graphics. We don't need special microphones and cameras. I'm so beautiful, you can see me clearly already. See you later.